Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Indie Gamer, and welcome to Golf with Your Friends, a alpha game, I believe. At least it was when I picked it up. I haven't honestly checked to see if it's not anymore. On Steam right now, that is basically a really cool mini golf game where you get a bunch of different courses, which we're gonna play through one today and kind of just talk about what you would expect to do in this game. And it's basically kind of it's a golf game. There's not going to be a ton to explain here, but you'll get the gist of what's going on. It'll set you up at a location on these holes, and you have to get to the golf hole. If you haven't played golf, like, really, where have you been? Like, it's 2016, get with the program. You have a power meter on the bottom left of your screen, which you'll see is going up and down. You do this by left-clicking on the mouse and moving forward or backwards. It determines how hard you're going to hit the ball. If you hit it just right, which I think we've done here, yay, you can do amazing things like get hole-in-ones, get the lowest score amongst your friends. It does have co-op multiplayer, local and online, for up to 4 people supported, I believe. So if you have a lot of people you can play with, it's a really interesting game to pick up. Not to mention the fact that you can do a lot of goofy things in the game as well. There are a lot of options if you are on the basically start page for the game where, wow, that was an amazing shot. Let's try this again. But anyway, on the loading screen where you begin to start the game, set it up, there's an option to do a custom game mode, which I'll show off here in a little bit because apparently this is going to be a bad couple of holes. Ugh. Probably play through the first half here just to give you a little glimpse of what some of these holes will look like, because some of them are quite interestingly designed, and some of them are just, standard golf holes. Nothing fancy about them, but they will provide a little bit of a challenge if you don't know what to expect, so don't want to show everything off. Again, Golf with Your Friends, it's actually relatively cheap too on Steam. I believe it was $10 when I purchased it. Should probably check to see if it's changed, but oh well, you can check it out. Obviously, link for it is in the description like it's been for every game I upload. But to get into perspective, we'll just head back here. You've got to kind of look at it's your typical golf game. There's nothing too really fancy about it here, but one of the things you can do, oh lord, no, I gotta show you the room name and the password. Oh lordy. Well, I do at least want to change this here. Thank you, game. And what you can do here is you have your course room name, number of people. You can choose levels. There are 3 different stages currently in the game. Forest being your easiest one in pretty much anybody's opinion. Oasis being a nice, like, Egyptian-themed one. Pyramids, deserts, statues, sphinx things. And then you have Twilight, which is a nighttime-themed one where everything's lit up by, like, lanterns on the courses and all that kind of stuff. They do each have their own interesting look and a few tricks up their sleeves to do. And as well as you have the ability to change the mode. Classic is standard golf, which you just saw me do a little bit of. There's also custom mode. And if you switch to it by clicking on the little tab, you'll get a custom game options. This is where the game gets kind of interesting. You can change all kinds of crap in the game and about the game to basically allow you to play some really crazy golf. You can change how many shots you get per hole, the time limit you have. Yes, every hole is timed. You get collision mode, which allows you to hit other players on the course. You can have your ball hit their ball and it will move them, which doesn't normally happen. Can be either good or bad for both you, depends on what you want to play it like. Show last power meter. This will, honestly, the best benefit I can see to it is if you happen to get knocked out of bounds or somehow reset from where you took your last stroke, it will show you exactly how hard you hit the ball the last time on your power meters so you know not to do exactly that again. Retry shot mode. It allows you to retake your previous shot as one of the settings. You go back to last shot. If you pay a stroke, you will basically go back to where you were before, or you can set it to go back to the beginning of the hole. So if you pay that 1 stroke, you go back to the start and get to try the hole all over again. It doesn't reset your stroke count though, you just add 1 to what you currently have. Ball shape is the first really fun one you get, because there are a lot of options in here, and this literally just changes the shape of the ball that you have, and there's some crazy things. I mean, honestly, you can imagine playing golf with a cube is not exactly the easiest thing in the world, and there's some crazy options. Cylinders, cones. This one in particular is just a pain to deal with, though. The isosphere. We'll play that a little bit to show you exactly how bad that can be, but you also have the option to randomize every hole or just randomize everyone once, and they will stay that way for the entire game. If you're going to go random, this is the best option, because if you do get a bad pick on one go, like the isosphere, which we'll show a little bit, you'll see exactly why that is a nightmare of a hole. Then, yeah, it can be fun. Gravity. Obviously, low gravity. Do you want to reduce the amount of gravity that your ball is affected by? Lower gravity means if you hit it hard and you go in the air, you're going to go much, much further. It can be good on some holes and a nightmare on others. It just depends. And every course has one hole that it will make more tricky. Spawn position. This is not one I've really messed with, but my understanding of it is that it changes the location kind of where you will spawn at. There's still a general sense of where you're going to spawn at the beginning of each hole, but it will randomize in like a box exactly where you spawn, which can make the beginning a little more tricky. Bouncy ground, which is probably one of my favorites, allows you to basically bounce harder off the ground. So if you're going to bounce, you're going to get thrown even farther the higher you set this. We're not going to mess with that because that just makes it all kinds of crazy. Jumping allows you to activate the spacebar, I believe it is, or left click, one of the two. We'll try it out here and I'll let you know. To jump in the air while your ball is in motion after you've taken a stroke, allowing you to potentially go even further than you would be able to go without that. And out of bounds reset allows you to respawn back in if you allow it or don't. If you get knocked out, you don't. That can be kind of tricky. You can also change the size of your ball, which basically just makes it a bigger shape, and that's just, there's some weird things that can happen depending on the ball you choose. If you pick a large cube, you can actually get stuck in a hole and not be able to get into the cup, and it will basically just make you either time out or just pull some weird glitch off to get yourself in there, because it's not going to fit. Yeah, don't mess with that one. But we will check out a few holes with the isosphere here as well. Go back to the same stage to give you an idea of kind of what you can do with the custom stuff in this game. Now, the ball looks pretty normal, you would think, so we would just do the same thing we did last hole and see what happens, and we need to go as far. So it's not too bad of an outcome, it's just strange. And if you'll kind of notice in the next couple of holes, the way this ball works is that every edge of it, instead of having the little holes that are indentions like normal golf ball, they every single one of them is a flat surface, so to speak. So this thing can just jump all kinds of crazy directions at its own will just because it hit the ground in a certain way. It could go flying if you hit it really soft one time. It could go nowhere if you hit it really soft the next time. And as you can see, that's kind of why is it jumping over the hole there? It doesn't make sense. But it'll just do anything it wants to do. So it kind of adds that ability to have this random aspect to the game as well. You never really know what's going to happen for everybody on each hole here. So it can make it more fun if that's the kind of game you're going for. Just some goofy, party time game where you just want to hang out with a couple of friends and play some weird, fun game. Outside of this, though, you just have your different courses and your customization. It's your standard golf game. It's not bad. It can be fun. It can be challenging at times, too, because some of the holes in this game can be quite tricky. Give you an idea, we'll go play one of the more difficult courses here. Oh no, I've got to show you my room name again. You might log in. Nah, yeah, it's not going to happen. But we do this just in case. There are a lot of random people that play this game, from what I've seen at least. Plenty of interesting room names if you go to the join game sessions. We'll go to, let's just go straight up to the new one. And this actually was added into the game recently, this map, not too long ago, and it's quite interesting because some of these holes are tricky. Like this one, the actual cup is just on this tiny little space in the center with a slope on each side. You will fall down both slopes very easily if you hit the first one. Of course, it's very difficult to not fall down them. And this one is one of my favorites. Let's see if we can actually make this. If you notice, the hole's at the very top here. So we just want to try to land on the top, but if we go too far, we're going to get thrown off the... Yeah, that was bad. Thrown off the back there. So we take another shot. Oh, we didn't make it. But the good thing is we don't actually have to go up that way. A little interesting trick here is that some of these holes will try to trick you. As you can see now, it was a mirage, the hole's at the bottom, and I still can't hit it. Yeah, this is kind of one of the reasons I don't play a lot of sports games. I suck at them. Come on, get in the hole. Get in the hole. Yeah, there we go. And for the next one, the crazy slope. Now this hole is not as bad as it looks. It's a little deceiving, but it can be difficult. If you don't make it over that thing in the first shot, it's going to be very hard to get over on the second one without it having like to bounce off the side of it onto the other side or do some kind of weird trick shot. Otherwise, it can take some very precise shots to get through that. Here we have a fun little trick. This slope is much steeper than you might think it is. And because of it, it makes getting up it hard, because if you shoot it too hard, you could go over the top. Yeah, like that. If you shoot it too soft, you're not getting up the slope. So here we go. Yay, I don't completely suck at golf. And one of my more favorite holes, the Giant Cup. I don't know why I call it that. It doesn't really look like a cup. It's more of a giant figure 8. But, oh, God. I haven't fallen out of bounds on this hole in a long time. That was weird. Let's adjust a little bit. And as you can see, you kind of got to make it all the way around here. And the hole is up on this weird sloped hill. There we go. Not doing too bad, actually. 15 on the 5th hole. But again, we're not going to show you the whole course. Let you buy the game, see the whole thing, because there is a lot of fun in this comes from the multiplayer, which I'm trying to get a couple people to join me in a session or two of this if I can get them on here. Hopefully, it'd be a lot more entertaining than just a straight-up review of the game, but, you know, this is Golf with Friends. It's what you'd expect for what you're getting. It's a multiplayer game. It's designed to be with a lot of people. It is a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool, crazy things you can do with the customization, changing of like your ball shape and the gravity, affecting the gravity and the stuff like that, and the bounce can really change how your game plays, especially if you're using something other than the standard ball too. Using it with things like the cones and the eggs can be very interesting. But again, available on Steam at the link below. Not a really expensive game. If you're looking for something with a lot of multiplayer fun, it is a good game to pick up. I would recommend it highly if you're looking for that just game you could pick up for 5-10 minutes, maybe 20 and play. But this has been Indie Gamer on Golf with Your Friends. I do hope you have enjoyed this small little take, and if you'd like to see some actual more gameplay of this game, let me know. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if you like the content you're seeing on this channel, please click that subscribe button, and you'll see when new stuff's coming all the time. But until then, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time.